Hi, welcome back. So, I know that was a little bit ridiculous, but that's the last day of this lawn cart, so I figured I'd showcase this a little bit. This was listed as a 17 cubic foot lawn cart, and I just filled it up with a lot of dirt. Back to showing off the 186F diesel engine. I had some people ask some questions, and I figured I could maybe answer some stuff and show off what this engine does a little bit. I use this engine. I use it to work around the property quite a bit. I use it for smaller things that I don't really want to put time on the larger tractor's engine for, because it would be a lot cheaper to replace that one than it would be to replace the big one. So, first and foremost, if you're shopping for this engine online, a lot of times it does say that it's a 10 horsepower engine. If you actually look up the kilowatt output of the engine, it does not come up to be 10 horsepower. It's something more like an 8-9 horsepower engine. So there you go. Now this is that one that I put the electric start onto, which works out really well. I disabled the rope start, and I mean, there's physically, it's still there, but there's nothing inside. So I wanted to kind of explain to some people here. First off, if you're thinking about this engine, I love it. I think it's a great engine. It's got all the power I need to do anything around the property that I want to do. Most of the time I use this as a generator prior to us putting the solar panels up. So I use this little 3 horsepower generator, or what was a 3 horsepower generator. And that runs lights in my barn, and if I want to use a tool out here on the property to trim up anything or anything like that, I can just drive this out here and plug into it. My cement mixer, it ran my cement mixer fine when I was putting in the concrete pilings for our solar panel support. So, you know, the engine never even acted like it felt it. So there is that. I also used to use this lawn cart a lot to haul logs up to the house for heating with here in the winter, and rather than, again, put time on the tractor to do that or have to cart them up and up to the house by hand, we'd load up the house with firewood using this cart a lot of times in the winter. Works really well. So the engine's been great for me. I put a lot of time on it. I couldn't tell you exactly how many hours I have on it, but I've used it quite a bit. It sits in my barn a lot. It gets dirty. It's a used engine, and it works. I mean, it works really well. It always starts. I have no problems with it. That said, the things I've discovered about this engine are, I personally felt like this rope start is just junk. And I would tell you, if you're going to buy one of these engines, either order one Chinese direct that has the electric start already on it, or be expecting to change out to the electric start. I will tell you what I discovered about the rope start is, if you want to preserve it and continue to use it, it might be a little bit more lasting if you are very careful to start the engine correctly. And I say that meaning, I guess I was unaware because I'm so used to gas start engines. So I hold on a second. Hey Kobe, what's up? How you doing, bud? The old man's out here. Yeah. Alrighty. Here we are. We're doing a video, dude. We're doing a video. Yeah. All right. Anyways, I'm more used to rope start gasoline engines, and they start quite a bit easy compared to this. This one, you really have to give it a pull. And I mean, you got to give it 100% every single time. And where I fell folly with that is I pulled it, not pulling it hard enough. It fires kind of wants to jump backwards, almost a backfire. And so it pulls against the rope rather than firing in the direction that the rope's pulling the engine. And it damaged the components inside that rope start. And after that, I've never had any good luck with it. I would disassemble it, I'd repair it, I'd build my own little parts for it, and eventually I just got fed up and I said, yeah, I'm going to order the electric start. This is ridiculous. And so this either is poorly built or I was poor at starting it, but I will tell you, you really, really have to pull it. And you can't slack on it. You got to do it, and you got to do it right every time. Otherwise, I mean, it immediately damaged it and had no luck thereafter. You can kind of see it's greasy and oily. I don't know if this leaks a little bit of fuel oil. That also could have been some blow-by from here, because there's no jug in there anymore. Or there's no piston in there anymore. There's just a head on there. So it could be blowing oil out of that. There is no gasket on it or anything. So that could be the problem. The other thing I don't like about this engine is it blows smoke. Horrible, noxious, terrible smoke. It is not like a modern American diesel engine with American emissions control standards. I mean, this thing will, the way I had to mount this on here, the factory exhaust outlet was right in my face. I tried originally, before I had the battery sitting here, I tried having an exhaust port just blow off to the side this way. You got to get that smoke up and away from you. It is terrible. It'll burn your eyes right out. But other than that, it seems to be very durable, holds up well. I feel, knowing what I know about the rope start, that if you're not careful with the electric start and you cut the key off a little too soon when it first starts to hit, I feel like it could actually jump backwards just like it did with the rope start and potentially damage the teeth on the flywheel or on the starter motor. So it's a bear to start this thing up. Now, in the cold weather, there's no glow plugs in this at all. It does not like to start in the cold. It's a long time. And if you think you're going to rope start it, here in Michigan, I'm in about 41 degrees out today. If you think you're going to rope start this thing in that kind of weather, man, you're in for a workout. It's tough, and I had to crank it quite a bit to get it to start here in these kind of temperatures today. That said, I guess I'm bringing that up. Somebody had asked me on the comments about using it for a snowblower, and I have to say I think it would work wonderfully. It does run in the winter. It's not that it doesn't. I think it would be great for that, but you got to be ready for the fumes and have a way to get those away from you, because you're not going to breathe them. It's going to take you. You're not going to be happy, and also be ready for the difficulty to start this thing in the cold. It does not like it at all. It's tough. The same person in the comments did ask me about the layout of the bolt pattern for the distance here to here, and then the distance lengthwise across the block, and then also from here up to here. On the manual, it tells me that the base to the center of the crankshaft is 155 millimeters, which is roughly 6.1 inches. I took a tape measure and I came up with roughly 6 1/8 just with a tape measure. So that's about what I have to say. I think that's right. 155 millimeters sounds correct. My instruction manual says 95 millimeters across here to here. So the narrower section of the engine. So the center to center on the bolts here should be 95 millimeters. And then here to here, I believe it said 272, and I don't remember that now, so let me look. I got the manual right here. Come on. Where are we at? Hey, dude. There it is. That says 272 millimeters. So lengthwise across, the bolt pattern should be 272 millimeters by 95 millimeters with 155 millimeters from the base plate to the center of the crankshaft. This is supposed to be a 1-inch crankshaft. I measured that with calipers at 985 thousandths, so it is actually slightly undersized. I don't know if that's, critical or if all 1-inch crankshafts are that way or what, but that's just letting you know. The pulley did feel a little loose on it when I put it together, so there's that. So enough of me talking. Let me fire this sucker up and we'll see. I'll show you it pulls some weight. And like I say, this is the end of this long cart, so even though, that's got that smashed all the way down, got the tires rubbing on the bottom, it'll pull this like it's nothing. And it's also starting to rain, so. Alrighty. Fuel is on, and I'm in neutral. Compression is off. Come on. Battery's dying. Alright, that was a little tough to do because you kind of have to hold the compression bypass while you're cranking it. It's not that the battery's dying, it's just that there isn't enough juice in my battery to overcome the compression. So, while cranking it, I had to do that. I couldn't do it two-handed. Anyways. Take this off. I'm going to have to steer it a little bit here. Well, without me sitting on it, the weight kind of come off. Has no trouble pulling this load. It's just a matter of these turf tires. They just don't have it. They don't have the grip to really hold this in place. My throttle locker's not working at the moment, so I'm kind of having to keep pulsing the throttle. It wants to pull off. Yeah, you can see that smoke. It's terrible. And that tire's gonna be done. Gotta figure out how to turn this thing around. And here's second gear. Same load. Even at low idle, this thing's got all the torque and horsepower you need to move. Good weight here. Well, I kind of ran into a hole over here, but this was actually where I was going to dump this dirt, so that's good enough for there. Anyways, and that kind of gets back to the final thing about this engine is it's loud. So those are the only drawbacks I really have. I gotta tell you, I would buy one again. There is a big brother to this made. It's called the 192F. It seems that you'd have to order that Chinese direct from what I can find, but they are available on the internet. You can look for them. There's a lot more I could do with this. I mean, you can see it does real work. It can move a load of wood, load of dirt. I use it till my garden. I struggle sometimes with these turf tires. There's more I could probably do if I didn't have the turf tires. I've tried pulling up some of these little scrub bushes around here. It won't. The tires just spin and spin. I think if I had some traction tires, I would probably get some actual grip and be able to even pull those out. I mean, it's got the endurance. It's got the ability. It runs. I've ran it for hours on end. I've ran it and refilled it while it was running because I was just working and working. Using it as a generator when I was building the solar panel stand. It does work. It's a good engine from my experience. I mean, I don't know if everybody has that same experience or if I just got lucky and got a great one. But just beware of the rope start. Be careful that it's actually fully started before you let off of the electric start. Is kind of my feeling. And you got to get the fumes away from you. Hard to start in the cold. Other than that, great engine. Thank you, and I'm sorry it was so long for a video. I'll try to be more on the ball from now on. Thank you.